Welcome to our Capital Recovery Center, where we focus on two key concepts. How can we help you with your recovery today? And what does recovery mean to you? Tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. to our coffee and conversation meeting and Thursdays at 1 p.m. to our All Recovery meeting. For updated information, follow our Capital Recovery Center Facebook page.
Good morning. Welcome to our coffee and conversation. My name is Karen.
Good morning. My name is Craig. I'm a recovery coach.
Good morning. My name is Mike, and he always somehow throw me off from knowing who I am. But I know I'm Mike for sure. Hey, welcome everybody. You see, we always excited to be here to do something in the field of recovery. We hope y'all had a good day yesterday. So today we're going to be continuing any recovery on wheels. Oh, we got recovery on wheels tomorrow.
Yes, Recovery on Wheels will be out at the Wendy's in Bridgeton on East Broad Street.
Nice. And that's from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Anybody that have any people needing any possibilities of going into inpatient or outpatient treatment or some things, other services like that, y'all can come out there and let us know how we can help you with your recovery. And we also will be having Spotlight Recovery this Friday. We will be featuring someone who has been successful in their recovery walk. It comes out every first Friday of the month. This is this week, right? Yeah. First Friday of the month. And other than that, what about that's it for the week?
The Recovery on Wheels will also be out on Monday of the following week.
Nice. Where that's gonna be?
That's going to be at the Violent PD.
That's it?
Yeah.
Cool. So, all right. So lately we've been going over these 8 dimensions of wellness. We've been going over them. Are we going to keep continuing to go over them each lesson until we get through each of them? So last couple of weeks, we did emotional, environmental, and we're going to finish the second part of this environmental section. We're going to do part 2 of that. And remember, the 8 dimensions of wellness deal with the holistic part. We want to deal with the complete person instead of just dealing with one issue of just removing the substance. So you want to deal with all of them. The parts we covered so far has been the emotional. The emotional is coping effectively with life and creating satisfying relationships. And environmental is maintaining, one of my favorite words, good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support well-being. So that's what we're digging in today. We're going over part 2 of that. And what we're going over today came from 7summitpathways.com. The link is on the description in the YouTube or Facebook. So you'll be able to get this and go along with us. I pray that you actually get the material, because it's not something that we're doing a synopsis over, but you have to read it over and over. I believe that repetition is good. So I want you to get the material, and that way you can go over it on your own time. So we left off on handling conflict calmly and professionally, and we're moving into digital environments can distract from recovery. That is so true. That is good. Who want to take off from there?
Okay. Social media is a powerful tool that has a litany of benefits, as well as many pitfalls to avoid. The primary issue with social media in the context of recovery is that people tend to only share the best parts of their life. Image-based platforms like Instagram and Snapchat are particularly misleading, as users carefully choose nearly every photo they post to project a level of happiness and perfection that isn't realistic most of the time. Spending too much time with social media and taking it at face value can quickly lead to lowered self-esteem and feelings of shame as you compare yourself to others. On the other hand, using social media judiciously to do things like network with other sober people, share success, and coordinate group activities is a smart use of your digital environment.
So that's awesome right there. This is a lot of good stuff, information right here. Remember, we talking about digital environments can distract you from recovery. So if you're on social media platforms, I use social media a lot, but I never use social media to compare myself to others. So when you're thinking about using it for that, then it says that you'll feel ashamed, low self-esteem, because you start measuring yourself like, I don't look like this person, or I don't look like that person. I'm like, I mean, if you just get the thing to edit it, your face, you can actually do a lot. But you don't have to compare to one another. But she says, she reads to, if you're using it to get network with other sober people and sharing success, spotlight recovery, you're getting with other people to share success, or people who are going down the same path you are going down, then you're using digital environment the right way.
There's a thing on TikTok. It's called Sober Talk. And it's pretty good. It's like a whole bunch of people sharing their own stories, and they share like absolutely everything.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good. We're gonna have to share that on here one day.
Yeah, I never heard of that. That's very interesting. And also, if you don't get 100 likes and somebody else got 101 likes, don't worry about it. You know, just be proud of who you are and put the best foot forward. Like the article said, you're not gonna always be upbeat. You're not gonna always have the greatest day. You're not gonna get all the likes. People are not gonna always cheer you on and encourage you. But do one thing: encourage yourself.
That's right.
And then find some other social media that can boost your self-esteem.
There's plenty of groups out there. We're gonna be having a group too that you'll be able to come on and share your own. It'll be a private group for Capital Recovery support group. It will be. We're going to do that so you can come on the back end, and because sometimes people might want to come share their information, but they might don't want to share it live. So we'll make a group. We're going to have a group that's going to be private, and you'll be able to come in there and discuss your things, all the type of recovery topics like that. So look forward to that. That's something that I'm working on now, so we can have that in place soon.
It's almost like a podcast.
Yeah,
But it'd be like
a private
and a
it's not
Private chat room.
A private chat room, and it's going to be under Capital Recovery Center's page. It just to be a group under that page, and I will link it. When it's all ready to go, we'll be sharing everybody who wants to join and come to the meeting, instead of us not being able to have meetings due to things that we have in our society. We're still going forward with having those things available for you. So let's see what we got here. One of them, physical. You want me to go? Okay. Physical environments can affect mental health. The impact of your physical environment on your mental health and become a source of addiction triggers. There are multiple ways your environment influences addiction, and untidy surroundings is a major one. Living in a home where there are dirty dishes all over the counter, laundry on the floor, causes mental clutter and can make it hard to think through cravings. On the other hand, an excessively bare environment with no personal touch makes it hard to connect with your space and feel safe there. Lighting is another element with a robust impact on mood. I always say that, right? Like your turn, right? As well as learning. If you're spending your mornings with curtains closed, you're losing out on a chance to boost your mood for the day and increase your capacity to retain new information. Turn the light on. Shine a light on. Shine a light on. Yo, your physical environment can affect your mental health. That is something that we overlook a lot of times. I personally used to be, because everything that I used to do when I lived my previous lifestyle, I used to always want the area dark. No matter if I was getting high or whatever I was doing, I just close the curtain. And they're like, man, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Why are you trying to make it dark? I don't know why. So now that I'm living a different life, every time it's dark, I'm like, turn the lights on. And it's a mental thing. I don't know what it is, but it just puts me in that mindset. That's how it was when I was actively using. So I'm like, nah, put some light on. I don't care what it is. Turn the light on. So it messes with your mental state.
It's part of what they call also sensory deprivation.
Nice. Come on, man. The college education.
No, I mean, sensory deprivation affects your behavioral modification, because in that way, a lot of times, like the article said, lighting, also, certain music we listen to can boost our energy level, or certain paintings, or, there's so many things that can alter your mood.
That's true.
And keep you down in a rut.
Yeah.
So be mindful of a lot of things but one thing, like the article says, pick them clothes up off the floor.
Pick them up.
And what it says, dirty dishes.
Pick them up.
Somebody got to take the initiative, all right?
There are multiple ways, it says, where your environment influences your addiction. So these are not an exhaustive list. There are other things. We just giving you a few different areas, because some of these areas might not be your issue, but we letting you know that there are multiple ways. The key is your physical environment. Pay attention to your physical environment. Who you have around you, where you like to go, all those things is important. Why you like to go there? I remember a story of a guy, I was in a rehabilitation center, and he went home, and like 3 or 4 months he came back. And I would always ask him questions, what happened? Do you mind telling me without me being judgmental? I want to learn. So he would tell me he will always come home from work and go get loose cigarettes from the liquor store. Instead of going to a convenience store down the street, the liquor store was close to his house. So he would go to the liquor store to get the loosies. Remember, we're talking about his environment. And every day he come home from work, he went into that liquor store. He says sooner or later he start buying one of those things. You got the loosies, now he getting a little shot. But pay attention, we talking about his environment. He said not too long after that, he getting big bottles of liquor. Right. And not long too after that, he was back to his heroin and crack. And it all started from him putting himself in that physical environment. Instead of walking past there, going up the street to a little store, he said he wouldn't want to walk to the corner. He got off work, he was tired. And that makes sense of our physical environments. Our physical environments can affect our mental health and how we're doing things, because he didn't even realize he would end up all the way back to what he used to do. That's crazy. True, though.
Let's talk about stock in the kitchen.
Stock it up.
All right. When it comes to a specific area of the home, the kitchen is a central focus area. It should go without saying that you should stock your kitchen with healthy foods.
All right.
Well, what is healthy foods? Let's talk about it.
Let's get it up.
All right. Well, we're not talking about
cheeseburgers, bread.
We're not talking about bread, Oreos, M&M's, chips, and dips. We're talking about healthy food. But people beginning recovery often take a while to get their nutrition rhythm going effectively. Making sure you have enough groceries to cover simple meals and quick snacks is a good way to avoid hunger being a relapse trigger. People struggling with addiction overwhelmingly have nutrient deficiencies that hinder recovery. So creating an environment where feeding yourself doesn't feel like a chore can significantly aid your recovery. Now we talking about all types of substance abuse, such as alcohol and drugs. Yeah, there is also people who have a problem with eating disorder, right? Yeah. So that is so important. So if you're struggling with those type of issues as well, hey, like the article says, work on putting some nutritional things. Get with the 80-20 rule. 80% vegetables, 20% meat. All right? And so that is something that you want to keep in mind, and get with a nutritionist. Yeah. who may know how to tell you how, or a dietitian who can regulate the meals for you as well. But in recovery, we know that a lot of us that, like me, myself in recovery, sugar can be a great trigger for those who are in recovery. And because we feel the need that we need the sugar to boost our energy level, whereas we can substitute that with a simple fruit.
And don't get discouraged when he read here, but people beginning recovery often take a while to get their nutritious rhythm going effectively. So when you come out of your old lifestyle, when you're living a new lifestyle, don't get discouraged if your changes of habits of eating and nutrition, you don't master it. So it takes a while to get that type of nutritious rhythm, and sometimes it happens to the best of us. We gain that momentum and we lose it, and we be like, man, I gotta get back up on doing what I was. It happens, so don't get discouraged because I'm telling you, it happens all the time, and it's just a nutritious rhythm. I picked up a nutritious pattern for the year. Every 4 months, I do like a 20-day fast. Every 4 months, but you got to pick up the rhythm. You got to, when the month comes, you be like, man, I wasn't ready for it to come that quick. It's time to do it now. And then, it takes time to get the rhythm. So start with like 2 days of doing something, then do 2 days, and then you build up some type of rhythm with your eating. But don't get discouraged because it happens when you don't stick to your nutritious rhythm that you're trying to pick up when you're in recovery. Not in recovery, anybody. That's anybody.
Yeah. Especially people
That's
dealing with
anybody.
diet, especially like I know a lot of times my weight fluctuates.
Yeah, me too.
Go ups and downs. So I try my best. Like Mike said, I get discouraged.
Yeah.
Like last night, I want to be something, something out of the norm from a nutritional
Chocolate
meal.
cake.
Chocolate cake. We were talking about a lemon cake from
Starbucks
earlier. So those are triggers. So I had to.
Yeah, I gave him the napkin. He was drooling.
Yeah.
You ever had that lemon cake at that?
So I had to dispel those fleeting thoughts.
Yeah, you have dreams about cakes chasing you. Lemon pie, that milkshake at Chick-fil-A. Oh,
hey, let's get back. Bring it back.
See what I'm saying? I'm ready. That thing's serious, boy. Woo! Optimizing your bed. You want to be? Okay. Optimizing your bedroom, getting enough sleep can be challenging at the best of times. If you find yourself tossing and turning and have difficulties falling asleep, changing your sleep environment can help. Ensuring your room is free of clutter and keeping devices that it might blue light off or out of the room are 2 essential steps to take. It's weird because I get up so early and I be like, dang, it seems like I didn't get enough sleep. Like today, I think I got up around 3:30. I've been up since like 3:30, studying, writing, and doing a lot of stuff that I do for my life and business. But I realized I fell asleep around 9 o'clock. So I was sitting on the couch, and next thing I know, I'm like, I'm in the bed. It was like 9 o'clock, and I was like that. So that's why I get up so early, because I'm going to sleep so early. I'm like, I'm not going to sleep all the way to like 6. It's not going to happen. So, but you gotta know that if you're not getting the proper amount of sleep, you gotta figure out why. Changing your environment, switching it up as best as you could. Because everybody don't have the opportunity to be like, I'm sleeping in the couch, or So depending on your situation. What we got next?
Choosing the right environment for your recovery. When you're looking for the best place to begin treatment, you must consider the role of your environment in addiction recovery programs. If you are seeking the most comprehensive change to facilitate recovery, residential treatment is the right option for you. There are the advantages of an inpatient setting in addiction treatment. Total removal. When you attend an outpatient or partial hospitalization program, you go home at the end of the day. This flexibility can be useful, but it can also force you out of a healthy state of mind for recovery once you leave. Residential treatment removes you from circumstances and scenarios that could trigger a relapse.
Total removal. When you attend an outpatient or partial hospitalization, you go home at the end of the day. This flexibility can be useful. So I always saluted the people. I didn't have this capability to stay free from drugs without going into inpatient treatment. But I always used to salute my clients that were in outpatient, and I'm telling them how strong I thought they were. And it was like, man, I'm still struggling. I was like, yo, you're trying to attempt to do something that I didn't even have the will, the power, and nothing to do. You're trying to work on your recovery and be out here where all this stuff was. I had to go to places where I know it wasn't anything, even though people smuggle stuff in. But I'm talking about 100% knowing it's out there, you know. And sometimes the outpatient situation helps your flexibility. When you leave the program, you get to go home and you get to choose you have to choose the right environment from that point. When you leave the facility, now that's one thing, that's the right environment. Now you're going somewhere else and you have the flexibility to choose. Should I go in this environment? Should I be in that environment? So you have to make sure you pay heed to that, take heed to it.
So you leaving one structure environment
and going right out in the midst of the line.
It's confrontational, easy access.
So you you have the flexibility to go wherever you want. So you gotta choose it right. You can't, you have to be very selective.
So all those coping skills,
Try.
hold on to them, use them, utilize the tools that they gave you or that they give in these residential places.
And all the things that coping skills is needed for everybody. Don't think because somebody, if you want to use for an example, leaders. Some leaders might have the same skill as other leaders, but they know how to use them skills better. It's the same thing in recovery. You have the coping skills you need. You just need to learn how to use them. Somebody else might know how to use them better than you. But you thinking, I don't even have those. You got it. You just don't know how to implement it into your life. So that's what you need to learn, how to use what you already have.
So a lot of times coping skills build your character.
Yeah.
And so character speaks a lot about the individual, because I remember a guy was telling me before I went to Tyler Hall, he said, man, there are going to be a lot of signs on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And most people walk by them and don't pay them no attention. But certain words like integrity, honesty, character, those things, you have to, pay attention to those and then couple them to your lifestyle as well.
And I do that today around here. Like Melissa got a lot of signs up. Yeah. I read them all the time. Believe in it. All that stuff means, you probably just look at it and be like, they just sign. Wow. So when we officially have individuals in here, that's one of the things I'm gonna point out to them. Make sure you read them signs and say them to yourself. It builds you up. Where we are.
Another advantage to inpatient treatment is full supervision. There is no chance of temptation within a residential treatment center, which won't permit any drugs or alcohol. This built-in accountability ensures that if you follow the rules, you will stay sober throughout your treatment.
Follow the rules is important. Follow the rules is one of the things that we I always say that I personally complicated my recovery process is because I didn't want to follow the rules that my mentors and sponsors gave. They told me, I'm like, nah, I think I can do this a different way. And when I get the same result, and I'm calling them, hey man, I'll get out of rehab this week. I need you sponsor me. What I told you, man. You figured out no way, huh? You ended up back over here needing sponsorship. But you got to remember, follow the rules. It's easy to follow the rules. Recovery will be easy if we always follow the rule. Number one rule is don't pick up. But in order for you to relapse, you know what you got to do? Pick up. It's like they tell you, don't pick up. There's no possible way for me to relapse on the drug that I didn't pick up. It's impossible. But if every time you break that rule, it messes up your sobriety process.
And the third advantage is strong structure. Many home environments are relatively unstable, and clients' lives lack a meaningful structure. In a residential setting, you will spend most of each day doing essential recovery activities, so you can make the most of your time there.
Nice. That's a question for anybody that watch this video now or watch it later. We're going to type it in, Ms. Karen. Why do people hate structure? Why do people in recovery hate structure? That's the question we're going to ask. Why do people in recovery hate structure? I don't know. Everybody might have many different answers, so we're going to put that question out there for you guys to answer. Whenever you watch this video, please comment in the comment section and answer this question. Why do people in recovery hate structure? So I want to see some of your answers. In a recovery setting, you will spend most of the day in essential recovery activities so you can make the most of your time there. When searching for residential treatment, ask yourself a few questions to explore whether it will be good. What are the amenities like? Are rooms private or shared? What possessions can you bring? Does the facility provide meals, or can you purchase groceries? Well, can you purchase groceries? That'd be your family members' money. It's 95% of people coming in residential. Yeah, you're gonna have to call, but you don't want to keep spending. We're gonna spend a lot of their money. So these are the things we went over for wellness. Answer that question we have is on the screen, please. Why do people in recovery hate structure? Please answer that question. I would like to see some of your answers. And again, we've been going over 8 dimensions of wellness. Today we concluded on environmental. And Thursday we will be doing, we did?
No.
Oh, we're not.
The last page.
Oh,
The
no,
value of holistic treatment approach.
Oh, God. You got that, Chris? I ain't see it. Oh, no, go ahead. Oh, good.
I'll read something. The last one we're going to talk about before we end is the value of a holistic treatment approach. For clients who realize the value of a healing environment and recovery, a holistic approach is the best option. Holistic treatment considers the whole person, as Mike was saying earlier.
Oh, that's my
many factors that make their experience unique. There are 3 main elements of holistic treatment. Number 1, mind. Addiction is a disease that alters the brain's chemistry, leading to an obsession with drug and alcohol use. Holistic treatment must address the client's state of mind. Number 2, body. Chronic substance abuse causes widespread damage to many bodily systems. Withdrawal is also a highly physical state and requires careful management. And number 3, spirit. Addiction severs many connections to spirituality, which can lead to boredom, depression, and anxiety. Incorporating treatments that encourage clients to connect with any form of spirituality or mindfulness is essential in healing the spirit. So you can't have one without the other.
All 3 got to be done.
Right. So you can't say, well, I'm just going to deal with the spirituality. What about the mental? What about the body? Right?
All of them has to be
Play
dealt
a central
with.
role.
Yeah, and you can try to deal with them all at once, or you could just take your time and work at all of them individually. But you definitely have to deal with all of them.
The goal of addiction recovery is not only to help clients stop drinking or doing drugs, but also to help them navigate life without intoxication as a coping mechanism. Counseling and therapy in group or one-on-one settings teaches these skills and provide an outlet to practice them. These treatment methods, including cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy, focus mainly on the mind. All right? And so there's a duality aspect. To cultivate healings in the body, holistic programs offer physical outlets alongside treatment designed to promote health and wellness. After months of years of addiction, the body needs special attention to reverse as much damage as possible. Such as you can try some of these exercise or get some type of treatment through yoga, acupuncture, massage therapy, chiropractic treatment, and nutritional education.
And he read up here, navigate life without intoxicating as a coping mechanism, because one of the coping mechanisms people use is when they're going through stuff in their life, they use a substance or alcohol to try to help cope with what they're going through. But we need to try to help you navigate life without that. That's what we want you to get. New coping skills.
New coping skills.
Brand new coping skills, man.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. You got some good coping skills.
So next week on Thursday, allegedly,
Right.
we're gonna look at another dimension, which is financial. I'm gonna look up something on financial. And you got intellectual.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna find something on financial, and we'll talk about one of those dimensions Thursday. All right. Thanks for tuning in to answer that question.
Shout out.